Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here, as I was about to title today's video, here to rank all the shooting badges and tiers in NBA 2K23 for Season 4. So, I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to spin 2,000 likes. So, as always, if you're new to the channel, the text color in the bottom left that you see right here is going to indicate the Season 3 ranking. So, for guard up, I had this in the F tier. I don't give this out too often, to be honest with you, so that tells you how bad the badge is. It really doesn't even work. Corner specialist in the E tier that I'm pretty sure doesn't work either, still even for that matter. And then we have things like comeback hit, slippery off ball in the D, a Deadeye in the C, everything in the yellow matching B, orange matching A, and red matching S. But what we're here today to do is to replace them. Now, as we get later into the year, as you guys will probably be able to tell by every other video that I upload of this, between the finishing, defense, playmaking, all types of stuff like that, I'm going to be having things that are repeat in the same category pretty often. So for instance, I'm still putting guard up F, I'm still putting corner specialist E, and then I also still have comeback hit and slippery off ball staying D tier. From here, we're going to make a couple adjustments, but again, just wanted to keep you guys aware of the fact that these in the later part of the year will probably remain stagnant for the most part. If I find that it's not even worth ever for a season to change anything at all, I'll probably just not upload the tier list videos and I'll skip them for a season. Like, as in, if Season 5 makes nearly no adjustments, I'll just skip the Season 5 one, maybe come back to this in Season 6 and see what's changed after that. But pretty much what I'm trying to get at right here is to ask you guys, if you would like to continue seeing the tier list videos dropped, even if there is stagnant change, let that be known. If you don't though, and you agree with what I'm saying here, where if there is very minimal change in these tier list videos as a collective whole between the finishing, playmaking, defense, and shooting, then let me know if you would just rather not see them. But you can feel free to leave that in the comments. But other than that, we're gonna get straight into this video. I hope you guys enjoy, and like I said, let's try this one to 2,000 likes. But moving forward, we have our first C tier badge that is going to be actually moving up to the B. We have Deadeye going up to the B tier. The truth about this badge is it's actually a pretty decent badge, just that it's truly a tier 3 for nearly every single build, every single height, and that is the problem with it, to be honest with you. The badge tiering definitely plays a factor in whether it's worth it or not, but I want to talk about the power of the badge. And the power of the badge definitely belongs up here with things like Space Creator, Amped, Green Machine, Volume Shooter, Clutch Shooter, stuff like that. It's definitely a decent badge. If it was tier 2 or tier 1, you'd see everybody running this badge. It's just that, again, it's a tier 3, it's extremely expensive, and it's not always worth it. But yeah, I actually did predict this in Season 3. I said as soon as some of us get our hands on the extra shooting badge core loadouts, you're going to see plenty more people running Deadeye, because as they were currently able to afford it, it was just one shooting badge core, and they were able to run 3 tier 3s. Between both the 6'1 and the 6'9s, running Blinders and Limitless as their tier 3, and then for the small guards, Agent 3 is another tier 3, so that's 3 of them right there, and then for the 6'9s and stuff like that, Catch and Shoot is another tier 3. So essentially, they both ran 3 tier 3s, and now the ability to have another core badge loadout, as far as like having 2 shooting cord, that would make it so people could actually run Deadeye in a more like fathomable way, essentially. And what that did show is that Deadeye actually is a pretty decent badge. It's just, again, it's very expensive and it's not a very valuable one, but it's still very good at the end of the day. Alright, so moving along into our B tier badges, we have Volume Shooter, Clutch Shooter, Amped, and Space Creator. Then, as you can see, a little bit of a question mark on Green Machine. I'm sure you guys are wondering what the heck's going on with this. And then we have Catch and Shoot as well. So let's start with Green Machine, because it's the most questionable one of all this stuff, right? I think it's the best B tier badge by far. I think it's the worst A tier badge by far. So it's stuck here right in the middle of like an A- or B+ badge tier. I'll just put it like that. I don't have a definitive answer on the Green Machine as far as where I really want to put it, so we have it right in the middle between B and A. Now let me explain that too, because I've been a hater of Green Machine for a little bit. People will think that I underrate it by putting in the B tier, and I would probably agree with you in some certain situations. If you're an efficient shooter, or someone that maybe takes like 1 to 2, maybe 3 3-pointers a game, which honestly, by that logic, if you only take 1 or 2 3-pointers per game, Green Machine doesn't even really get its activation for that matter. And the problem is, if you're someone that shoots like 8 or 9 of them per game in a comp pro-am situation, you're going to be chucking a lot of shots. Let's be realistic. Not many people are going 8 for 8, 9 for 9, anything like that in comp pro-am by any means. And as you put that third shot in a row up or something like that, let's say you green 2 beforehand, now you make that third shot put up in the air and you just get contested on it. You're someone that has to chuck a shot in the late clock, and you just end your Green Machine streak straight like that. So now you got to start it all over again. You got to get your first green, second green, boom, now you're getting some progress. Third green is where you feel that impact, obviously. And the problem with that is, again, it has to be efficient shooters. I think this is really good for corner spot ups. I think it's really good for debatably some shooting guards, but it just depends, man. In comp pro-am, it's a lot of bad shots being put up because some people don't have those end of shot clock bailouts like we do. Tonic is obviously our guy that's in the corner with it, and he's able to get a lot of those late clock situations to go. And I honestly advise for someone like Tonic to not even run Green Machine. Personally, you're just going to be putting up a lot of bad shots that are end of the clock, and you're going to break your streak pretty often. So things like Volume Shooter are a little bit more important in that aspect, if you ask me. Or Tonic would probably agree, things like Space Creator are more important for him because it's about his shot creation. It's as simple as that. But anyway, my point is, for those specific people out there that are maybe a little bit more rim run made as a point guard, and you can afford to maybe take only good shots on the 3-point line, Green Machine is obviously very good for you. It's a really good badge at doing what it's supposed to, but you have to be really efficient with it because, like I said, if you're only someone that maybe makes like 1 or 2 threes a game, Green Machine's worthless to you. It literally is not going to see any impact. That's just the truth. And if you take a lot of them and you're the Chuck Fest kind of guy that just has to put up bad shots, you're also not going to see too much impact from Green Machine either. Or if you're just not that good at getting yourself open. Truth be told, it's as simple as that. I think Volume Shooter and Clutch Shooter are a little bit better for you, and same with even maybe things like Deadeye might go a longer way. I know it's a tier 3 versus tier 2, but that's just my point. Now, as far as the activation of this badge, it's obviously very good. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you grind the My Career and stuff like that, and you're consistently hitting every shot after every shot after every shot, Green Machine's going to activate on literally every one of them. It's one of the first things you'll probably core badge as far as your shooting badges go. But that's just how I feel. I truly feel you have to be a consistent and efficient shooter to really utilize Green Machine to its best level, where things like catch and shoot, it's a one-time activation. It doesn't stack or anything like that. You literally just catch, shoot. If the shot goes in, the badge activates. If it misses, it doesn't activate. Simple as that. Anyway, as far as some of our accessory badges here, between things like Volume Shooter, Clutch Shooter, and Space Creator, and I would even argue maybe Amped is a accessory badge. I think a lot of point guards, it's a mandatory thing to run, but for anybody that's like maybe a corner spot up or a pick and popper, Amped is a little bit debatable. It's about as simple as this. If you shoot tired, you probably want Amped. But even me, who's like doing a little bit of this ISO 5-out style, and I'm going to get into Pro-Am very soon on it as well, we're going to really see if I need Amped as well. Because I don't really plan to shoot the ball when I'm really tired, to be honest with you. I'm probably looking a whole lot more to the rim run contact dunk or like dunk meter style, stuff like that. Or just pass the ball, get the ball out of my hands. Simple as that. I don't think me shooting the ball tired is really a good look in the first place. So I'll probably run Amped around like bronze, silver, something like that. But I don't know. I think if you're a ball dominant point guard and you have the ball in your hands like 80% of the game, and it rarely leaves your hands. You obviously want Amped at an extremely high level. You're going to need this to be able to hit tired. But even shooting tired is kind of hard because it slows your jump shot down, obviously, right? So it's kind of an iffy badge. I think like I said, ball dominant point guards, you definitely need it. For anybody else, though, it's debatable. You probably don't, to be honest. And then things like Clutch Shooter and Volume Shooter, we already talked about the comparison between like Green Machine and Volume. I think Volume is a really, really good thing to run as another ball dominant point guard badge. Same people that probably want Amped, you probably want Volume Shooter. About as simple as that. Unless you're Tonic, who, you know, like I said, isn't really shooting tired too often because he's getting the ball from the corner and shooting in a very quick, like not too many dribble move style or anything like that. But for Volume, it's just for people that put up a lot of shots. Doesn't really require much explanation other than that, to be honest, and really it's as simple as that. Clutch Shooter, I think, is actually a really good park badge, as well as it can still serve its purpose for Pro-Am. In case you guys missed it, like about a month or two ago at this point, I forget how long it's been, but in our wager against Joe, this dude Apollo put up the most ridiculous chuck fade I've ever seen and just ended up greening an 8% fade as the dude didn't put his hand up because he didn't want to foul him. But the Clutch Shooter activated in that situation, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You only need this badge when you really, really need it. That's the truth. I mean, when you end up in those close park games, 16-16 or 14-14, something like that, Clutch Shooter is going to be what really gets you a huge boost to your shot. Simple as that. And if you ever want to be that type of dude that's shooting them game winners in Rec Center, Pro-Am, anything like that, I think Clutch Shooter is a mandatory to run in at least bronze. I think this is a really good accessory badge. It's tier 1 for everybody at all times, and it's really worth, if you ask me, to run it on bronze, maybe silver. And if you want it and you have a couple accessory badge points to spend and you don't want to spend them on things like Amp, Space Creator, or anything like that, I think Hall of Fame Clutch Shooter is pretty reasonable, personally. So now let's talk about Space Creator. This is one that's a very, very niche style. I've seen people like Tonic use this, and it's one of the best badges you could ever activate. It's one of the really must-haves for him, to be honest. If you're someone that does hop jumpers, you want this. If you're someone that doesn't do hop jumpers, you don't want it. It's about as simple as that. It's going to help you hit hop jumpers. It's going to help you hit spin shots, stuff like that. If you don't do those types of shots, this is an F tier badge to you. All right, and then last on our B tier badges to explain, we have catch and shoot, but I just wanted to reveal Claymore, Limitless, Blinders, and Agent. We'll get to that in just a second. But for catch and shoot, this is one that is very self-explanatory. It's for anything that has to do with catch and shoots. Whether it's corner spot ups, wing spot ups, pick and pops, anything like that, catch and shoot is going to be activating. Now, I do want to give you a couple examples of times that it doesn't activate. So on Limitless range, super crazy far Limitless threes. I'm of the belief, and this is what I've seen and heard from teammates and seen for myself, limitless is the one that activates not catch and shoot. It's really weird. I've seen that if you catch the ball from super deep, catch and shoot doesn't activate. And on top of that too, if you're on a fast break and maybe you catch the ball but it fades as you catch it, it's Agent 3 activating right there, not catch and shoot. So just keep that in mind. If you ever catch the ball on a fast break but shoot the ball before your guy gets set with his feet or anything like that, it's Agent 3 activating, not catch and shoot. So because it's a fade. So that's what I've seen from it. But either way, catch and shoot is a must-have for every spot up. As simple as that. I have it cored on even a build that I plan to run 5 out on, just because it's a badge that's pretty high as far as the tiering goes. I mean, for guards, I believe it's tier 1, tier 2. For tall builds like 6'9" and up, I believe it's always tier 3. But yeah, for pick and pops, corner spot ups, wing spot ups, catch and shoot, really good badge, A tier for sure. Claymore, once again, another spot up badge, 100%. This is more for the people that are truly corner spot ups though, if you ask me. And you could argue, like, catch and shoot is definitely better than Claymore, and I don't know why I ever had this ranked higher, to be honest with you. I don't think Claymore is an A tier badge in retrospect versus a B tier in catch and shoot, so I don't even know why I had it like that in season 3, to be honest. But I would argue catch and shoot is better than Claymore. Claymore is really good for those corner spot ups though. When you're really cooking your feet in that corner and you just have been stationary for like 4 or 5 seconds, Claymore is giving a huge boost. And that's probably where it has catch and shoot beat a little bit. It's probably more valuable for a corner spot up than catch and shoot truly is. It's hard to really judge though, because a lot of people have both of them, and that's just the truth to it. But yeah, Claymore, the longer you're stationary, the more boost you get. Simple as that. Now, I don't know, someone's gonna have to tell me if this is the case. If you're in the corner and you stand still for like 4 seconds, I really would love for you guys to put in the comments, if you press your A button to call for the ball, does that like nerf your Claymore back to like reset? Or do you know for a fact it's only about your left stick movement? I would love to hear that in the comments. I actually ran into that situation when I was playing randoms in rec, where I hit A to call for the ball, and I was curious in that moment. I was like, did I just nerf my Claymore like progress just off the fact that my player moved technically, even though I didn't move my left stick? So if you guys want to leave that in the comments for me, I would really appreciate that. It doesn't change my opinion on the badge too much from a competitive level. You're never going to press your A button to call for the ball when you're playing with teammates in comp pro-am or anything like that, but still curious as far as rec center goes or anything like that, or people who play park with randoms. Just would love to hear that. But anyway, moving along to our big 3. I'm not exactly sure why I didn't have Blinders and Limitless on the same tier as Agent 3. I think it's just because Agent 3 is significantly better as a badge, and I would still argue it's for sure the best shooting badge in the game. Blinders and Limitless belong on the S tier as well, though. They don't belong in the A tier just because Agent 3 is that much better. It's just that Agent 3 is still undoubtedly the #1 shooting badge in the game. But Limitless and Blinders, as far as their like power goes, it's still really good. Now the thing is, all 3 of these badges are more so a point guard badge, in my opinion. Obviously things like catch and shoot Claymore, definitely spot ups and pick and poppers, stuff like that. Limitless and Blinders though, definitely a point guard badge or a shooting guard badge, or anybody that's playing the wing on like pro-am offense, or anybody that's handling the ball in pro-am. It's about as simple as that. You need this on at least silver to really feel an impact though, if you ask me. I haven't seen too many people utilize it on bronze, probably more pick and poppers, so to say, but those dudes are really inconsistent with their shot from deep. I'm gonna be real with you. So I think you need at least that 85 3-pointer silver Limitless range to really feel the impact. Same goes for Blinders, really. I think these need to be silver level. I've never really seen anybody run them on bronze, to be completely honest with you, and really feel the impact. So in my opinion, they're silver and up. The higher you go, the better though. Between Hall of Fame Blinders, Gold Blinders, and Silver, there is a pretty good significant gap, if you ask me, in the feel behind it. Same with Limitless. Hall of Limitless is going to feel way better than Silver, but that's just the truth about the 3-pointer as well. One would maybe argue, and I'd love to hear you guys input on this, I'd love to know what 99 3-pointer with no Limitless range feels like, or what Hall of Fame Limitless range would feel like on an 85 3-pointer build. That's something that we'll never know, obviously that second one, because nobody can really do that. Nobody can have Hall of Fame Limitless range on an 85 3-pointer build in the park or anything like that. But I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on that. Limitless to me, more pick and roll heavy, point guards that use screens, stuff like that. If you run ISO and you're a little bit more 5-out heavy or just rim run heavy, I wouldn't really argue Limitless is so necessary. You need this for really like shooting off of pick and rolls, if you ask me, a whole lot more than anything. And then obviously as a shooting guard, wing spot up, anything like that, you definitely want Limitless at least like a gold level, if you ask me, for comp pro-am. And then for Blinders, I think this is just good in general. I mean, you have multiple different shots that this activates on. It could be catch and shoots with someone rotating from wing to corner and they're just on your peripheral. Simple as that. It works. If it's maybe mid-range fades, anything like that, where someone's on your peripherals or you have them crabbed, Blinders works. If it's 3-pointers that you're fading on the 3-point line, or even just shooting with someone in your peripherals, again, it just works. It's a badge that activates a lot, but it's hard to make because obviously it's still a contested shot. So it is what it is. That's why it's really hard to core, obviously, because it's hard to make intentionally contested shots, whether it's my career or like against players as well. It's a badge that's going to be really useful for negating those contests. Simple as that. Agent 3 activates on every shot in the game except for catch and shoots. I mean, you can literally put the ball on the floor, hit your stick one time, and shoot the ball. Agent 3 will activate. You can put the ball on the floor, not even do any dribble moves, but fade, and it'll activate. You could do anything as long as you actually put the ball on the floor and then shoot the ball. And the power of this badge is so significant. I have a couple updates for you guys as far as the Pro-Am team goes. Apollo made a new shooting guard build that's going to have 99 3-pointer, and he's going to have all these badges on Hall of Fame between Agent, Blinders, and Limitless. AK has thoughts maybe of making a new point guard build that has 97 3-pointer, so it'll get Hall of Fame Agent and Blinders, just not Limitless. It'll only get gold on Limitless. Same with only gold on Deadeye, but I don't know. It doesn't seem he's too interested in running that anyway. So we're going to have a couple more tests on these badges as far as the Hall of Fame level goes, and I think there is a really significant level, if you ask me. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times, people that have 99 3-pointer, and it's so devious. It's so significantly better than 92 or 85, if you ask me, which are the other thresholds that you would probably reach for certain badge levels, but we'll see. I'm really intrigued to see that, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. But anyway, we have the playmaking video dropping tomorrow. I'm going to be upfront with you guys. There's not going to be a lot of movement in that one. So again, feel free to leave in the comments whether you actually want to see these badge tier videos, even if the movement is very minimal and stagnant. But anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, put green in the comments, show support me all the way through. And if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all the good stuff. Like always, try to 2,000 likes. So anyway, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed. None of that. Take it easy, man. Peace.